I was very honored and privileged to know that this venue that we are here in is 20 years old. It's a whole generation. And earlier on
I only look 20, you know what I mean?
Man's looking for free food, isn't it? And we had the pleasure of meeting her father earlier on this evening. But Queen Antonia, would love for you to just share a few words about this place, the vision that led to here, and anything else you want to share. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello, King. Hello, my queens. It's good to have everyone here. It's an honor to have you, Mama, in the house. And the King, it's an honor to have you in the house. It's been a long journey, actually. 20 years is not 20 days. It's been hard work, but we give all the glory to God. Coast City started from a dream, just looking around to see, oh, there's no African place where people can meet and eat, meet and greet, just like we are here. And that kicked off the dream. And since then, 2005, it's been a long time, but it's been good. We thank God. And it's good to have everyone here. I'm honored to have you here, having to be with us on a Monday evening like this. You're welcome. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you, sir.
Permission to speak.
Oh yeah!
Of the African tongue, I and I who worship no God, we can't dance to the beat of the African drum. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Rhythm and sounds through streets and towns. Reconstruct your cerebral compound, Sankofa style. And we was born the most virile and fertile child in any era. We're African. In any era, we just can't stop creating. We form directly from the earth when we write. And master the ability to emit sound at the speed of light. Approach your battlefield fully equipped and airtight. And we approach our enemies. It's not a struggle, it's a fight. Purpose to every syllable when we get lyrical. Construction of a Christ-like miracle, for we were never supposed to bring forth these conceptions. Just couldn't fight the urge of real, authentic, natural Christ, anointed by nature, enough to manifest God-like behavior. Now we combine divine energies, freedom's fires we evoke. Breath vibrate air molecules and keep the flame stoked. Avid student in the class of liberation, lifeboats, these quotes remain melodic because we make the right notes like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Mama Africa, I go free Africa. Mama, mama, mama Africa. Oh yeah. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Changambire, it's an honor. It's an honor. It's an honor. My name is Shakara. I'm a spoken word artist. I'm a Pan-African organizer from birth. I'm also the director of a media institution called Kimbunga Media. And so if you want to find me, you can find me Kimbunga. Me is a word which is spoken in a number of different languages that are referred to as Bantu, one of which is Kiswahili, and it simply means whirlwind, storm. And as a student, as a child of the most honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who said, look for me in the whirlwind, look for me in the storm. And so we consider ourselves the energy of our ancestors, particularly our ancestors who fought on our behalf, who lived their lives and gave their lives so that we could have a better life. And so we are an energy force that continues the work of our ancestors. And in this dispensation of time, the unfinished mission is the freedom, the liberation of our people. And so Kimbunga Media is simply a vessel for channeling that message and generating that energy. And if we understand the energy of the whirlwind as a force of creation, there's many things that we could get into. But that's what we call it, Kimbunga Media. It represents the spirit, the undying spirit of African liberation, that consciousness of African liberation. And how we manifest the best of ourselves when we imbibe that spirit of our ancestors and do our work. And so please feel free to get in contact with me through one of those mediums. Shakara speaks on everything, on everything, as well as Kimbonga Media. Tatenda, thank you very much for listening.
You guys have not listened to the Mbira. You have not listened to the conversations of the past. Come, pick up your instruments. When you are listening to the Mbira, it's not just the music. I want you to listen to the stones from which the iron is forged from. These are memories of millions of years. To beat these, no, to dig them, it's one process. To melt them, it's another process. To forge them, it's another process. To thin them into tunes, it's another process. By the time you are listening to the sound of the mirror, start playing, guys, don't worry about me. Maybe the Mama Sasa or anything, that is fine. Or Changambire, or... By the time you're hearing these drops, I'm not lying to you, if you close your eyes, it sounds like water flowing over. But this is metal, this is brittle. But when it is played, it is the soft inside the heart. And I wish Africa can begin to listen to the voice of the Mbira. Go on your YouTube, on your Instagram, and start getting your ear familiar to the sounds, messages, premonitions of ancient stones. That is Zimbabwe, the home built out of stones. Before you build Zimbabwe, which is a house built out of stone, Zimba is house. Zimba, it is the kingdom. Before you build a kingdom, build families, build people. So to make an empire, we understood the three laws of power. Individual responsibility, individual preservation, which moves into family preservation. From family preservation into community preservation. The continent is waiting for us on the other end. And from the me to the we to the all of us. The Mbira music is a sacred sanctuary for the African to hear the echoes of the stones. I wonder how many of you can hear me. The stones are the oldest survivors of this civilization. Stones. And if those stones can make music for you, what do they remind you of? They were here, these stones, when your grand grandfathers were here. Why, celebration. Let's go. And the Mira is 7 songs. Maybe, I think next year, can we agree? Next year, this time, on this date, same place, be sitting in the same chair, put on a diary. I will make it bigger for you. I'll make it bigger. You'll be sitting right here, I'll be sitting right here. Put in your diary. We'll make this idea bigger and begin to create that nucleus of influence around. Please mark your chair. Mark your chair. Mark your chair. Next year, this weekend, next year to be Tuesday, is it? No, Wednesday or Tuesday?
So you want the date?
No, I want the day.
Today is the 20th.
Yeah, so next year to be one day.
Stick to the 20th. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, so next year, 20th. No,
Depends on what day it is.
next year, same time, in the same chair. I want you sitting right there. So even when death is approaching you this year, just wait a little bit. I have an appointment. You can take me after the appointment. Let's make it this bigger.
20th is a Tuesday.
I'll bring a much bigger group from Africa to come and stand here. Maybe 3 years later, this place will be much, much smaller. But I'll bring another 4, 5, or 6 people here with the proper thing, with drums and etc. So you can be sitting here next year. Next year, you can be sitting here exactly where you are sitting right. Don't bother. Don't. It's right there. Next year, this time, I'll have a bigger group here. And you can experience this sound at a much, much better level. And you can grow together. DJ, with your stick right there. I wish I had a universe. I could just freeze this. And I play it again next year. We're going to be here. We want to start developing an African consciousness movement. And some of you have influence. I'm building a village in Zimbabwe, a prototype. which I would want to duplicate in Ghana and in Zimbabwe.
In Nigeria, it's coming up.
No, okay. You couldn't just allow us to Nigeria. And I bet you if there was South African, you say, and South Africa, you know. But to create a cultural village for rites of passage, even when we're in diaspora, we can maybe put our heads together as parents. You all have money, that's why you're here. You don't have money, you know someone who has money. We can get one of the forests around here, or a bush around here, where you can send your children over certain seasons. We sit with them, we train them, we develop them, we initiate them into African culture. Because what's the use of you being here making so much money and your children no longer who they are, no longer know who they are, where they come from? And I think there's a problem. When you take your children back to Africa and they think that their grandmother is a witch, and that grandmother gave birth to your father, gave birth to your husband, and you are there as a mother confused, not knowing what to do with these modern children who are on Twitter and Instagram. So we can do something locally so that we don't reproduce children in the likeness of the colonial system, but we bring them up in our own culture. And I think I met with the Ghanaian embassy today. We are in conversation. I may meet the Zimbabwean embassy. I'm leaving for Burkina Faso by the weekend to meet Ibrahim Traore. I am moving into Congo to meet up with the kings in Congo. I'm in Gonzo the following week and back into Zambia. But the idea is I would like to see the restoration of the African people. You may not need to go back to Africa, but bring Africa where you are. You know, the Chinese are strong. In South Africa, they have China City with a dragon, a temple, and chicken chow mein. You know what I'm talking about? If you have been to chicken chow mein, they keep and carry their culture with them. Where the Indians, I've lived in Durban, I've lived in Zimbabwe. The Indians don't, I almost use the word F around, they don't mess around. Wherever they are, their Diwalis and they. I wonder, my children, when we get to the global village, the Chinese will stand, the Indians will stand, the British will stand, the Germans will stand, the Italians will stand. I wonder in that global village, when they call on the African, when they say Africans come forward, what will we show? We'll come in Italian suits, Gucci bags, Louis Vuittons, and we say we are Africans. How embarrassing while the world is moving towards a global village. I want to challenge you as the educated African community. Please, you are the representatives of our culture. Don't leave us behind as traditional people. Carry a little bit with you into the village. Maybe our food, maybe our herbs, maybe our fashion, maybe our architecture, something. But when they say we're in the global village, can we as Africans also be represented as true Africans? As true Africans. If you don't hear these words of mine, we're going to end up in this village. There's coconut, brown on the outside, but white. Celebrating Easter, Christmas, fully brainwashed, carrying pumpkins on Halloween night. And you say, this is Africans. When we have masks in Africa, dances, mirrors, gomas, shaka. When they say Africa, step forward, we should be proudly walking onto the stage as the mother of civilization and show them who we are. I ache in my spirit because all of you who have come to the West, even here in the North, we still call it the West. All of you are educated and highly intelligent. That's why Africa is being ruled by fools. Because you, the smart ones, are here. Doing what? Doing shifts. Looking after old women and wiping old women's bums in the name of making money. Remember us also, we are still at home holding it strong. We are back in Africa, holding it strong. This is where we started, and I hope this is where we'll end. So while we are moving towards the global village, I want to challenge every educated African to say, don't get swept away. Learn, do, adjust, but preserve yourself in the midst of a culture that is transforming. And one way of doing that is to invest in the global village that I'm beginning to build in Zimbabwe right now. I want to create a model which I want to duplicate in all 54 countries in Africa, so that when your children and yourselves come back to the continent, you can have a place where your children can know how to go to the village, plant, pluck their vegetables, make their ground nuts, know how to make a pounding meal, know how to grind their meal, know how to build their hut, know which tree has fiber to build a hut, know which grass can be used to cover the room, know which soil to cluster a house. I'm not saying let's go back there, but no, listen to me carefully. The technologies of these raw materials is the future.
Absolutely.
They're talking about the green world. You can't talk about the green world if you don't come back to Africa. Because who will tell you how to preserve the environment? You want to create a village in each African country which can harvest and preserve this knowledge. How to make peanut butter, how to make a pounding meal, how to grind, how to make a yolk, how to plant pumpkins, how to harvest the seeds, how to crush them, how to make powder out of them. What does this help? Male fertility, women's milk for breastfeeding, and Africa is a laboratory of science, which the world has not yet discovered. What they store is only 0.2% of what Africa still has. That whole jungle of Africa is a pharmaceutical industry. They have not even started tapping into it. It's all up to you, people, educated people. And by the way, you're the weakest link. You're the weakest link. I'm not appreciating your history. You give colonialism power to take over our knowledge systems. So please, if you want to get involved in the project I'm doing, get in touch with Mamokadzi. I've bought about 20, 30 hectares piece of land. Come to the farm. When you come to Zimbabwe, accommodation is on me, transport is on me, food is on me. Just get your ticket and come. Build yourself a hut, name it after yourself. Whenever you're there, you have a place to sleep in. And when you're not there, other people can come and stay there. And we can duplicate this idea around the continent. That's what is occupying me right now. Even when they called me right here, I was wondering whether do I come here or do I go back to my farm and do what I'm passionate about. And that village, all of you within the reach of my voice, you're part of that project. I know you're buying your airtimes, buying your junk food. It takes me less than 100 pounds to build one hut. I don't want much. So please, when you have your extra, please send it through. We build it for you. We name it after you. We name it after you. We name it after you. When the world comes, write your name on the books of history. Be remembered for having contributed something. If you cannot change the world, change yourself. Do something that you can say, I did something. The people in the eternity of history will always come there and find your name written in the history of Africa. I thank you all for hosting me here. Having me as part of your guests for tonight. I will take a few questions, a few contributions for the night, but that's why I'm here. I want all of you, if I do 2 or 3 meetings with you here, I will declare on the third one that the third one is not here. I want all of you. Tickets. I wouldn't mind having this meeting in my roundabout.
Challenge to everybody. That's a challenge.
With the drums, the mirrors, the food, in clay houses, walking barefooted, cleaning ourselves in the pools, drinking indigenous herbs, eating organic foods, and being in a space where we can at least 2 or 3 days and say, I don't feel like I'm an African. I am an African. I thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to start from this table. Make your questions short. Don't let it be long-winded, please. So short so that we can pass it on to other people. So we're going to start this table. Who's going to go first? Start from the DJ. Okay, now number 2. Okay.
One question. Can you give me comment?
Okay. Okay. Comments? Yes,
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Your Majesty. My own is just a question and answer. Someone just sent me a text that the person who wrote the world map, where was he standing? That is the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Nice and sweet.
The history of the world is always written in the ink and the mind of the writer. Colonialism. Write history without the respect and knowledge of environment. You can't discover people who are already in existence. I think.
Thank you. Okay, my brother, you're next. Please keep your questions short.
All right, the Kings. Samuel, my name. I have a question.
Tell them what we met.
Yeah, we met yesterday. Just when I was taking my wife to lunch, so I just met him. He's somebody I've been seeing over the internet, so I recognized him. So, straight to my question. I run a podcast on YouTube and Facebook, and some sort of Pan-Africans, and I listen to Christians from mostly young people that lived born in the UK as well. There are things that I found very, it seems it's a bit common to what most of them are asking me, and that is what is scaring them away from all this intrinsic information you're giving us on how to build African. For them, it seems like the culture of Africa is not evolving. It seems like it's very much static. I'll give you an instance. Statistics in the UK have indicated the amount of divorce with Black community. And the reason for that is this patriarchal system that runs in where I came from. I came from Nigeria, Igbo tradition, where literally women sometimes are seen as properties, objects. And this system have been running over the years. And for these guys, they have been told that these colonial masters are the villains. But they've found a better comfort with these colonial masters. Because when they have been abused by their husbands, their African brothers are telling them, this is tradition. You have to stick with it. But the colonials are telling them, no, you shouldn't treat another person like that. So for them, it sounds a bit more that the colonial, which we assume to be the villains, are becoming the friends. And the Africans, who are meant to be their brothers and sisters, are abusing them. So I want to ask you, how do we enforce this message? Because for me, I've raised awareness, I've tried everything possible to challenge this concept. But the more you challenge it, the more it sounds as if you're trying to abolish the tradition. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's sad, very sad, that we write our history from the arrival of the colonialists. And that's where those trajectories are coming from. There is no African culture, tradition that is patriarchal. All African cultures and traditions are patriarchal. You cannot set up or build or install a king without a woman. That's fact. From ISIS to Ghana to Nigeria, to Mutapa, to Chitikulu, Mukumbe, to Zulu, to Sutu, to Xhosa. I've been there. African culture is matriarchal. That's why I was explaining, I hope you were here earlier on, when I said Munzi. Oh, Munzi, Mai. The root is your mother. So the whole patriarchal concept is coming with the missionaries. It's a postulation of colonial theology, which imposes itself on the African culture. Number one. Number two, by the time the young people are becoming repulsive to that tradition, they are right. Because it is not African after all. Patriarchy is not African. Patriarchy is not African. It is a colonial construct that says women are coming out of men. Using the Bible as a text, show me one woman who came out of a man. I'll show you 1.8 billion men who came out of women. Today, show me one man here. Show me one woman here who came out of a man. One. Show me one here. I'll show you all the men here who came out from the women. Don't even start with me. Don't even go there. Because that whole trajectory is misinformation on misinformation, creating ideologies that are not African at all. We are not patriarchal. Those people that came out with the concept that Eve came out of Adam, they must deal with that. In our culture, our mothers are our gods, not Adam, our mothers. So don't bring your colonial education to me and tell me you have a problem with patriarchy. I don't even know what patriarchy spells like. I might start with a K. Our African traditions are founded on women as the sources of life, not men as source of life. In cultures such as the Kikuyu and the Maasai and the Ethiopians in Eritrea, women don't even change their surnames when they marry you. And the children belong to women, not to the men. Because you don't know who I slept with to give you this child. So if I say, help me to bring this child, it's a privilege. If you find a spear in front of my house as a man, walk away. I have another man inside here. When you begin to look at these cultures, the Dinkas, who use the Maasais, you will begin to understand that the whole concept of patriarchy is not African. So I don't even want us to start arguing about patriarchy, because that's a biblical, pseudo-African, plagiarized cultural interpretation and extrapolation of African existentialism, which does have its epistemologies or hegemonies within the corridors of our own perceptions. Pardon me if I become intellectual. I am academically circumcised. But that's what it is like. This is not us you are describing. You are describing them to interpret us. Our mothers are primary. Our mothers.
Thank you so much.
Keep it short, because we're gonna go around.
So my question is, my name is Ajemi Poste, by the way, and I run a platform called Ajemi Poste Africa, and it's literally pointing people back to remembering themselves. And some of the interesting questions or conversations people have had with me is, let's be realistic, in terms of everything, modernization, the fast growth, the technology, the innovations, they're solving today's problem. What does that Africa that you want us to go back to and remember ourselves in it, what does that look like? And at times, I think it's a genuine question that we need to be able to help guide. We may be sold, to the dream, but how do we truthfully convince and help people believe in that big vision as well? And the second thing I would like to ask is, what's the vision of the Africa of tomorrow that you see?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The pain of misinformation is the one that makes you laugh at your mother who brought you up, or a mother next door who could have brought you up. They are Africans with technology. With all the technologies put together, the world, they have not been able to build a pyramid. With all the technologies put together, they've not been able to build the Great Zimbabwe or the Berlin Wall. With all technologies put together, they've not been able to interpret the UFO designs on the Egyptian pyramids, and the cell phones, and the aeroplanes, and the helicopters. They find written on the Egyptian walls. So you come around 2025 and tell me about technology. Really? Technology. So when did we start doing brain surgery? In the future or in the past? When did we start doing cesarean section? In the future or in the past? When did we learn that flat walls are not friendly vis-a-vis round walls? Past or future? When did we start knowing that you can count the woman's menstrual cycles by putting 28 beads around her waistline, 7 red, 7 orange, 7 white, and 7 green? In the past or in the future? But when you look at these traditions from a Western platform, they look barbaric, they look satanic, they look demonic. But go to your laboratory and tell me that the people who started this thing don't know that the month is 28 days, not 31 days. So maybe the Ethiopian calendar is right. We actually 28 days per month. Maybe we're not in 2025. We're still in 2022, 2021. When you begin to put these concepts together of African knowledge systems, you begin to appreciate the scientific formulas of our cosmology, our anthropology, our agriculture, our botany, our microclimatology, our astronomy, and anatomy, and begin to appreciate that our forefathers were not as primitive as the colonialists say that they were. You cannot come to Africa and find an African man holding a spear in his hand and say he's barbaric, and you don't know how he made that spear, where he got that metal, how he forged it, how did he forge it into an instrument, and you say he did not know what meteorology and industry is all about, and you find 10,000 spears standing with Shaka the Zulu, holding them in the field, uneducated by you, but ready to fight you, and say, these are uncivilized, these ones, cannons are civilized. No, maybe our technologies were not at your level. Even when you stole the gunpowder from the Chinese and from the Africans, we'll leave that for another day. But you do not find people holding sticks at the bottom of a tree, waiting to find you. Just look at what they had in their hands. And you can understand that they were technologically advanced at their own time. Up to now, if I can bring a Zulu traditional person here, or a Lumita Tongo, or a Bemba person standing here, an old man, who knows this is not made in Europe. This is made in Africa. Purely African. These are bones of a cow. This is brass. Smelted in the village. Crafted in the village. Weaved in the village. Attached in the village. I got this from the traditional leaders in Kenya, in Kenyanga. Nothing imported. Yeah. Go to the West and produce your own. That looks exactly the same. And you want to tell me about technology? Read your history. Golden teeth in the pyramid. Cesarean sections in Congo and Kenya. Brain surgeries in the Dingas. Cosmological understanding of the stars and the moon in Nigeria and Mali. Come to South Africa, the whole Milky White Way. The stars in the Milky White Way written on the ground. Inzalo Yelanga. That knowledge in the African and in this era, you still want to call us uneducated? When we know what trees, what flowers, what active elements are in all these herbs that are in our bush, uneducated, uncivilized. When grown, grand women would be standing in the village and they go to see a girl coming a kilometer away and they say she's pregnant. Uneducated. When we knew how to extract alcohol from barley through fractional distillation, boil it here, put a pipe, wrap it around a sack of thing, pour some water on it, cool the air, drop it, and they call it to. And there is the final product. Uneducated. Take a child, put them in a dish full of mud and clay and cow dung, vaccinate them so that you introduce the bacteria into their body, and these kids are uneducated. Uneducated. Oh, for crying out loud. Let's give us some credit. They are not coming to give us credit. But I think African civilization, had it been given enough time, without the interruption of the West, had we collected that technology from the past, mining, of industry, technology, pharmaceutical, construction, and etc., had we been gently allowed to transport that data into modernity, I think this universe would have been a much, much better place.
Absolutely.
Because there's some certain sciences that we knew in terms of reading the movement of the winds, the playing of the birds, and etc., which we could actually capture. We could have been able to take some of the Africans to monsoon and tell them that, okay, start moving. How did those animals in hurricane, what hurricane took place there? Tsunami. I saw on the internet that animals started moving up the mountains a few weeks earlier. All the animals were just walking up the mountains. The African will have known something is fundamentally wrong. You cannot have so many animals, dogs, cats, animals, lions, and impalas, and etc. Even the animals that are in a cage and zoos, they are wishing to move out of there. And you still cannot read that? So I think our technologies have lost sense of what I want to call ecological intelligence, which is ancestral intelligence. That while you claim to be knowledgeable, in terms of formulas in book, if nature is given to you as a book, are you able to read the book of nature and out of that be able to make decisions that affect the future? And all that information, because of colonialism, it is called uncivilized. I beg to differ, madam. True education is knowing how to feed yourself. In my world, no man must be allowed to speak in English if they cannot feed themselves.
Say it again.
You can't speak in English and you can't feed yourself. No, I can't give me something to eat, and you're saying that in English. And you're on the ground. Then what were you doing in school?
Speak English.
You can't make yourself a cloth. You can't build yourself a house. You can't heal yourself. You can't feed yourself. And you're speaking in English. And you say you're educated. I beg to differ. With all general respect, I think it's a misconception of African knowledge because we're being judged from outside. But if we are given an opportunity to express ourselves, I'm a proud African. I dress African by no means necessary. We just remove the skins from here, but it's all 100% skin. And why? Okay, you put on your plastics and your silicones around your breast and let the silicone sip in your breast and tell me why you have breast cancer. By the way, when you have breast cancer, you're educated. Those are diseases of the educated people. With the primitive ones, we may want to find out, in the olden days, when they were going on their periods, what were they using? What were they using? Childbirth, what were they using? Now getting pregnant is a disease. Once your wife is pregnant, she's sick for the next 9 months. But our grandmothers gave birth to 18 children. No cesarean section. This is science. How they did it. And to call that barbarianism and uneducated and uncivilized, I think you are not being fair. Let's collect information on the past, integrate it into the present, and build new systems for the future. I think.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm just going to pass it to my people here.
Sorry for taking time. I thought I would indulge in by answering you nicely. I knew that
okay. I'm over this table because these guys came all the way from France, and thank you. So special guests, so privilege. They don't live here.
So Maponga, I have 3 questions for you. You say 3. Yes, you say that my ancestor, Pan-African movement said that we have to honor our ancestor and we have to give libation to our ancestor. How do you relate to this point of view while you just say that we are my ancestor? This is the first question. The second question, Tata Bonnet is a very brilliant metaphysician from Cameroon. And he said that the true name of God is Imana. Imana manifested in Ra. What do you think? Because when I read your book, I didn't remember that you talk about Imana in your book. So just tell me what you think about what Totabone is saying about the true name of God. And the last one is, as we are working together to help restoration of our community, do you think that learning hieroglyph is to be mandatory to help for the restoration of our own?
Thank you.
You called me to stand, madam. Imana, inside me, we all have become. That which you cannot see is visible. That which is in the past is present. That's Imana. Imana is the supply, the provision in the present, which is published in the past. So I am exactly what the past looked like. So I'm my ancestor, first question. And there's nothing that you see now which was not here before I'm here. I did not make myself. The tree, this is The kola nut. Everything that is in the kola, in the tree, it is here. Everything that is in the branch is here. Everything that is in the stem is here. Everything that is in the roots is here. This is a summary of kola. And as long as I plant this kola properly, it will reproduce another 1,000 kolas in this generation. If they are planted properly, they will continuously reproduce after the same kind for eternity to come. When I look at you, therefore, and I say, are your ancestor? I want you to appreciate that. But history is here. The future is here. Time is not progressive. Time is present. Time is not linear. Time is not cyclical. Time is vertical. You are living in the abundance of the present tense. What is in the past, what is in the future is present with you. I must just find you a conducive environment where I bless you. You will reproduce yourself. So how can I come to you right now and doubt that you are your ancestor when you look exactly like the color that you are? How can I meet your son 20 years from now when you have passed away and doubt that he is your son when actually what is in him is in you right now? How can he not say, I'm not related to you, when everything that is in him is what was in you? Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up, stand up. Take off your glasses, both of you. Stand up, take off your glasses. Take off your glasses, young man. That is a mother and his son. That is a mother and that is his son. Okay, I wish young men can get married. No, keep on standing. I wish you can get married and we can have another child there. And then with the child can get married and the child can get married. Tell me 6 generations later, when you look at that child and look at the grandmother there, you will not be able to appreciate the continuity of life. So when I'm saying that you are your ancestor, the other side is now, if I should go back from you, going back this way, tell me that 10, 15 generations later, I will not be able to see the boldness, the broadness, the smile, the teeth, the shape of the hair, the strength of the hands, the height, and etc., the width and breadth, in where you are coming from, to be where you are. So the concept of that you are your ancestor, there's nothing that you have now that is supernaturally fallen from elsewhere, except from the source where you're coming from. So the best way of honoring your ancestor, the last question. The best way of honoring your ancestor is knowing who you are. Where they failed, you must succeed. You are repairing ancestral memory. If your grandfather did not pay lobola for your grandmother, then pay. Take some few cows and go back to your grandmother and say, on behalf of my father, I was born illegally. I've come to make it right. It stops here. And from me going forwards, I'll make it right. If we were busy killing people in our tribe and we are known as murderers, it stops being here. I'll pay some families that we killed their loved ones. This is why we are here, ladies and gentlemen, to heal ancestral memory. Where your forefathers failed, succeed. If we are known as witches in your family, correct that. If we are murderers, correct that. And I'm talking to you. If we are known as tomb raiders, correct that. And create a new narrative for children that succeed. Generation after generation will duplicate the mistakes of each generation, and constantly disaster and peril and pain will follow you. So yes, you are your ancestor. From feature to brain, to inclinations, to appetite, to skills, to talent, and etc. Madam, there's nothing that you have that is yours. Each one of those 4, 4, 8, behind the 4, 4, 8 is the 16, behind the 16 is the 32, is the 64. Each one of them have sent in a little bit of themselves. Some loved healing, some loved flowers, some loved playing, some loved dancing, some loved what? Depending on the recessive and genes and what? I am this, I am this. My name is Michelle. I love blue. I love white. I don't like this. I don't like this. Since when? Have you seen a 2-month-old child, 3-month-old, who has never seen a snake, scared of snakes? Except that in their gene, there is traumatic experience with snakes that is now manifesting itself. Another child, same age, would hold a snake and rub it and play with it. Yours will grow goosebumps and run for their lives. Where did they learn that snakes bite? So you better understand that genetic memory is stronger than conscious memory. I wish I could run a university here and just upgrade your and by the way, your greatest weakness is your previously acquired knowledge. Even while you're looking at me right now, you are busy debating between what I'm telling you and what they taught you. So even you must pick it with a pinch of salt. But I'm giving you a practical example. How do you put 3 children here? Both of them have never seen snakes. One is scared. One is happy. One does not care. Explain. So this one who is scared, since when? They've never seen it. This one who is happy, from where? This one who does not even care about a snake, from where? Do your research. You are the educated ones. Test me. Test my ideas. Tell me I'm wrong. But I will tell you that ancestral memory. In case, put that as a footnote. As a reference to your research. They said there are some certain informations, please, I'm being very deliberate. There's some certain information that is written in ancestral memory that academic proliferation cannot explain, except that it is not DNA. So we think that we love healing. I love nursing. You don't know that your grandmother was actually a traditional healer who loved healing. Your grandmother was a midwife who was assisting. Your grandmother was a herbalist who loved what? And that gene of care and love and etc. has been given. You are a beauty queen. You never know. Walk backward. Find another 3, 4 generations later and find what is this thing that seems to obsess you with looking beautiful. You may just find that somewhere in the back there, in the royal palaces of the ancient times, you have walked this street before. You have shown your waist once or twice. You have swung it across kings, and you have walked away as if nothing happened. And for me, this is exciting, because the more you know about yourself in the past, the better you understand yourself in the present. Hey, I'm an engineer, I'm a teacher, me, I'm an electrician, me. But really, when did you start being you? Because the very skills that are built into you maybe very little to do with you. Except you think when you're looking at me right now, you're looking at Maponga J, yeah? You think you're looking at me? No, I'm not me. I am from the ancient kings of Gab. I'm from the ancient kings of Nagaste. I am the real incarnation of Mojan. I come from Toshe position. I am from the royal house of the kingmakers. I'm not a king myself. That's too low for me. I help the kings to sit on their chairs. I am the one who presides over the knowledge of the throne. Those of you who watch The Lion King, I'm the Rafiki. I'm the one who allowed to take a stick and hit it on Simba's head and say, Simba, you've forgotten who you are. That's me. And that is built in my system. And whenever I see those that are destined for royal thrones, you are attracted to me because I remind you of what you can become. You can't take me to school and train me that. No. You can't take me to an institution and put a small little gown and a square hat and say, oh, you are now this. You can't do that. That is not taught. That is built into me. I am only attracted to royalty. And for this session, I'll stop with one comment. Say after me, be loyal. To the royal in you. One more time. And all of you who have been called for this meeting, can tell you on my tip of my tongue, there is some royalty that flows in you. Otherwise, you will not be attracted to me. I'm looking at the queens. I'm looking at the kings. Looking at the royalties from Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, Congo, Tanzania, Queen. Do you think you came here to pay for dinner? No, you came here to get your ancestral memory. Remember. Rejoin. Reconnected to the essence of yourself. Africa sits here with me tonight. Find your chair. Be who you are. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Okay, from the table in the middle, who wants to go next? Okay, Ida.
Ancestors speak through you. The ancestors come through it. I just got to sing this here. Ancestors, show us the way to war.
As I heard a loud noise rustling in the trees, which just couldn't be the rustle from the breeze. Then I began to run, as I heard the noise from a gun. But I was caught and I was thrown to the ground. Oh yes, I remember that day well, how I began to scream and to yell, how I could have sworn that I had gone straight to hell. From way in the distance, I could hear the beat of the drums. From way in the hills, I could hear the beat of the tom-tom. As I beat of the news of my capture, as I told the news that I had gone forever. And I was chained and brought to a new way of life, to a land full of hate and full of strife, away from my family and my wife. I was given a name. The name was called Slave. And although I was 40 years and more, I was still called a boy, which always seemed to annoy. Nowadays, when I go to sleep, I always get the same old dream. In my dream, I hear a drum. The drum beats out, come, come, come. In my dream, I hear a tom-tom. The tom-tom says, run, run,
Run! I can't remember the rest of this poem, but many years went by and many lifetimes. But I kept on hearing the same old dream. And I knew that I was to get back to Africa. I did go back to Africa. Back in 2002, I went to Africa, and there's where I got my initiation. Ashe. Give thanks, my brother. Thank you. Thank you.
That's profound. Deep. This is ancestral knowledge. Ancestral knowledge. Ancestral knowledge. Ancestral knowledge. That's very intelligent. Okay, my brother, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mara-Rah. This is quite different. I was just asking you whether the way you are dressed and you are presented, you would feel safe in most of African cities or places.
No, I hear you.
You will feel comfortable.
I hear him. That's okay. I'm dressed up much nicer today. I knew I was coming for dinner, but I'm privileged. My grandmother on my father's side is from Mozambique, from Tete, the Mchena clan, and from Malawi. My grandmother on my mother's side, the Ndebele clan, and partly Venda, Manyai, the Ziwas, the Benzis, the Lembas were the Jews of the South. My grandfather on my father's side is Mshoko, Kanya, is Jana, and Kimas, Mpolokomas, the Gaps of the Egyptian Empire, the Lancashire. My grandfather on my father's side are the Shumbas, who are the lions from the Zulu clans, Shaka. I've never had a problem with an integration or African culture, that all these cultures can actually be connected one to the other. If I should spell my grandmother and find out who was the mother to my grandmother, who was the girl on the maternal, paternal, and paternal, the four. And they go back to their fathers, and their fathers, and fathers, and mothers. And they do the same 4 times around, 16 times, 32 times, 64 times, 122 times, 24 times around the clock. I may actually find that biologically, I have been built to become the unifying factor of the African continent. I am, and I declare, I am what you are waiting for, and you are what we are waiting for. We are all connected in one way or the other. I sit in a room full of my brothers and sisters. I might not know how I'm connected to you, but in that village, in that round house, a few thousand years backwards, We sat together. We drank together. We ate together. We lived together. We, as Africans, are one nation. And by the way, knowing that you're from Tanzania, Nehanda started in Pemba. She moved from Ambo in Kuruswa in the Kirinyaga Mountain and moved over to Pemba for the first families of the Karanga. And then the spirit of Nehanda drove them from Pemba, crossing over into Malawi, into Zambia, and crossing over into Zambezi to start up the great Zimbabwe kingdom. We have 482 sites in the southern hemisphere, from Maponga to China in Tete, to Moshela in Botswana, into Namibia, into Congo, into Tanzania and Zambia, Malawi. And all these places have the great Zimbabwe as the greatest, where Morenga, where Tovera, where Changambire and Jena, and Fumojena, who is my grand-grandfather, is supposed to come up, my paternal side. If I should follow the same history around the campus of my existence, I can actually declare to you tonight that I am connected to all of you in one way or the other. She's from Zimbabwe, from the Moyos. That's Ziwa, that's my grandmother. And if I can ask you totals all over here, I might find out that I have uncles, I have nieces, I have nephews, I have brothers, I have sisters. For me, that is the depth of the African connectivity, which colonialism has put the borders of the Berlin Conference in terms of countries. But oh, please allow me to cry and say rivers, they flow from one land to another. And the same waters we're drinking in the Lubale, in the Sese Islands, the waters you're drinking in Sudan, the waters you're drinking in Ethiopia, the waters you're drinking in Egypt, the waters in the Mediterranean, the Zambezi from Congo to Jobe, the Zambezi to Mozambique, the Zambezi from Zimbabwe. So how can we drink from the same fountain? We say we are different, yet we are all connected. The same source. So, Baganda, I am Kima. Bologoma.
Hey.
That's your wife. So your wife is my sister, or your wife is my mother. So before I leave here, you must buy me a drink. You are my brother-in-law.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we're gonna round up the next 15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes. We're gonna finish at 11 on the dot. So who else has got a question to ask Changambire? Okay.
No questions.
Okay, comments. Changambire wants comments. No questions.
I'll help you.
Comments.
Hold on. Because of the colonial system, people always think that they want to say something different. Walk up to the first 10 people you want in the room and tell them what they understood in our conversation tonight. That's how they will pass a comment.
Okay.
So at least you're going to get a good summary.
Okay, let's start from here. So what do you take away from what we got from today?
That we are all connected.
That we're all connected.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next person, what do you take away? Feedback from what you got from today?
That we are our ancestors.
That we are our ancestors. Okay, anybody else? Any more comments? I'm sure you've got a lot from today, so tell me.
Walk around.
Okay. Yeah, let's give you the mic.
No, it's good to have that. I started to know that you're connected and
not discover more stuff about ancestors, when he was saying about it's DNA.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Misinformation will kill us.
Yeah, I love that.
Will kill us.
Comments? Yeah.
Because we are so deeply colonized.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that one. Any other comments? Comments?
It's important for us to tap into our ancestral intelligence. That is the foundation of everything that we need for today and for tomorrow. It's all about ancestral intelligence. So when you hear the words AI, it's a new definition. Not artificial, ancestral intelligence.
And by the way, ancestral intelligence was coined by Changambire, so give him credit for that. Anybody, any more comments? Right behind me over there. Any more comments?
Yeah, Africa is the laboratory of science. We need to learn more about our history and ourselves and our ancestors.
I agree 100%. We need to know who we are. Any more comments, guys? Okay.
Be loyal to the royal in you.
I share.
The falsehood of patriarchal society, that our mothers are it.
Any more comments, guys?
Okay.
Sorry for breaking your room. I have a question. All of us here who have been inspired by your words, what should our next steps look like? How do we get to know more of ourselves and our ancestors? What steps do we take to bring on our brothers and sisters who are so not necessarily confused, but they believe every word that the white man says? Or maybe they doubt, but they're not open to learning more that they can't see. They don't believe in the spiritual so much. They see that as demonish. How do we get ourselves believing and knowing more so we can bring our African brothers and sisters along this journey so we can all prosper together? So that's my question.
It's you. The question has to do with. The question is addressing the laws of attraction, like a magnet that is put, on a pile of sand. It is able to attract to itself and leave out the chaff away from itself. I think the more we become like ourselves, we will begin to attract to ourselves those that are similar-minded like ourselves. So walk back, take off your shoes, clean up your grandfather's graves, go home on holidays, connect with your natural self. You'll be shocked in your life how many people, energies, will begin to be attracted to you. That's where your wealth is. That's where your power is. That's where your talent is. Stop looking for professions. Know yourself. And that which you must become will become natural. You have all looked at me on this stage, talking to you tonight. I've done professional work for 25 years. I've done presentations, conferences, in corporate. I come to you with no piece of paper, nothing written. Because I'm not coming to you to relate to you what they have taught me, what is it in me. And when you work from what is in you, maybe you don't need to work as hard. Maybe you don't need more contact to increase your value. Maybe you don't need more network to increase your net worth. But when you discover and know who you are, walk in the purpose of your existence, the rest is history. We have Africans who are professional. We have very few Africans who are spiritual. Answers are not in the physical realm. What you see is physical. What you don't see is spiritual. I'm calling for spiritual African. When the wind blows on your face, you must know what it means. When you're walking on the streets and the pigeon drops its feather on your path, you can't walk past it. You pick it up and put it on your head. Come on. When the spiritual world speaks, are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? Maybe the world of spirit is talking, but your ears are not open to listen. You are here tonight. I'm going to close this session in a few minutes from now. Walk to someone that you don't know. Take their number. I believe in the principle. And I formulated this, which says the whole world is conspired towards my success. Every one of you with the knowledge of my voice, I have your money. You have my money. How do we make that happen? We must find each other. We must find each other. We must find each other. Then you will know that the deposits of your success have been deposited in the people that you will meet as you are going on the path of life. To understand that is cosmic consciousness. Stop swearing at other black people. Stop guessing them. There is something in there for you. The question, what is it? And how can you get it out from them? A word of knowledge, a word of wisdom, a word network, a contact. Before you notice it, walking in purpose is more glorious than walking in a profession. Stop working hard, work spiritual. Plug into the spiritual frequency. You may discover that you work less and you connect more.
Thank you, Changambire.
I thank you.
And that's it for the night. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for your participation.
Jaminu, Kamu, Timu, no, era, Dodo, no, era, Baba,